Hello, beautiful trowels. Wow, what a ride, huh? Now, just want to start with this. Why did Tiffany feel the need to set up a camera the next day, hairbrush in hand, ready to dramatically brush out clumps of hair for her viewers? I mean, was that really necessary? Tiffany, nearly half of your audience has already lived through that painful, humiliating experience themselves, and now you're making them relive it. All to what? Prove you have cancer? But let's get one thing straight. This channel has never claimed you didn't have cancer. That's not the point. This channel exists because of your lies, your manipulation, your endless exploitation of your viewers for money. You block anyone who dares to ask an innocent question. You hide videos about your past health issues, the same ones that probably contributed to your current condition, because you don't want anyone to see that version of you. You've had countless surgeries since your late teens, yet you act like your story began yesterday. Do you honestly think this channel would even exist if you had just been honest from the start? If you had kept your story straight? But no, there are over 50 videos now, each one pointing out your contradictions, your misinformation, your blatant deceit spread to over 100,000 people. And now, in your latest episode, you spend more than half the video brushing your hair, milking sympathy from your audience. Do you really think people can sympathize with you when you've shown nothing but greed and narcissism? Watching that video didn't make me feel sorry for you. It made me sad for the people who've actually lived that nightmare. The ones who stood in front of the mirror watching their hair fall out, feeling their identity slip away strand by strand. Those people didn't have cameras. They didn't have sponsors or donation links. Many of them didn't even have support. No family, no partner, no one to hold their hand. Some of them still had to get up every morning, take care of their kids, and push through their pain without ever asking for pity. So no, Tiffany, I can't find sympathy for someone like you. My empathy lies with those who are truly struggling, the ones who don't turn their suffering into a performance, who don't set up a camera to capture their pain for views. So, Tiffany, it's all out there now. Nothing left to hide behind. We went through it all in my last video. The lies, the contradictions, the performances that keep piling up. Remember the wig situation? The one you said you donated? Made a whole point about it. Now suddenly you're talking about going to pick it up?
With this wig, where I haven't used it, I'm just going to donate it, and then if I have more chemo and if I lose my hair, I'll just buy another wig.
I actually need to go and pick up my wig. Remember when I went to try out some wigs?
How does that even make sense? Then there's the hair loss story. One minute you claim you've never had clumps of hair falling out, yet a couple of years ago you said exactly that. Which version are we supposed to believe?
Before I've had hair thinning, I've never had hair clumps like that before. I would wash my hair, it would come out in clumps.
We've all heard it by now. Every version of your story, every emotional twist you've tried to sell. But I just can't get over this latest little dramatic act you pulled for sympathy. Or should I say, for money, in your newest episode. The way you sat there, brushing your hair like it was some tragic revelation. When we all remember what you said the last time this supposedly happened.
Amma brushed my hair today. After so long, because you know me, I don't brush my hair, do I? Because every time I brush my hair, a lot of hair falls out, so I avoid brushing my hair as much as possible. I remember before I would get comments like, oh, sort your hair out, oh, sort your hair out, brush your hair, and I'd be like, guys, I don't care what my hair looks like. I was busy with radiotherapy, surgery, chemo, and I was like, the last thing I wanted to do was brush my hair. I didn't care. So whenever I see those comments, I'd be like, are you being serious? What? Whenever I see those comments, I would be like, I would find it so funny, because I'd be like, I'm not going to brush my hair. I don't care about my hair. And even when I was in the hospital, I'm not sure how long you've been here, Amma would brush my hair because she's like, that's it. I'm going to brush your hair because it's going to get very knotty. And I'd be like, I don't care. Oh yeah, I haven't talked about my hair. So basically, my hair was just crazy, right? Like at the bottoms, it was all knotty, it was all falling out, and it got too much where I was like, Amma, where I was like, Amma, just cut my hair. I'm not going to the hairdressers because I don't want to spend £50. I don't know how much it would be, but it's a lot of money. And also, I just wanted to get it done very quickly. So Amma cut my hair in like less than a minute.
So what exactly changed, Tiffany? Because back in 2022, you couldn't even bring yourself to hold a brush to your hair because you hated seeing it fall out. And even then, it only happened because your mother practically forced you to while the cameras were already rolling.
Let's go to the hospital. Amma said I need to brush my hair. She's like, you're not leaving the house without the hair being brushed. So I said, okay.
Fast forward to now, and apparently you just can't help yourself. You've managed to turn this into content not once, not twice, but 3 separate times. The sudden obsession with showing your viewers you brushing out clumps of hair is ridiculous. So let's break this down, shall we? Episode 1, Tiffany dramatically holding a clump of hair in her hand titled Hair Falling Out. Episode 2, Tiffany staring at clumps of hair like they're about to come alive and start talking back, titled Clumps of Hair Everywhere. And episode 3, Tiffany looking straight into the camera, hair pulled to the side for maximum effect, titled Hair is Getting Worse. I mean, does anyone actually disagree with what's going on here? Because to me, this isn't some emotional cancer journey. This content is clearly all pre-planned. It's a complete money grab. But I guess it's that time of year again. You can practically set your watch by it. You see, Tiffany's got this whole thing mapped out. Every move, every tear, all perfectly timed before the Christmas ad revenue rush. I mean, she sure knows when to stir the pot for maximum views. Like take September 2021, for instance. Ring a bell, anyone? That's when she suddenly got diagnosed.
On September the 13th, I was diagnosed with cancer.
And then there's September, the year after, when she suddenly decided she didn't want to go through with the big surgery and would rather just watch and wait.
He wants to leave it and see what, like he wants to leave it and hope for the best.
Just leave it and hope for the best. But you know what? I genuinely think,
But the problem is if there is anything left behind, it'll get a wee bit worse.
But I could call him tomorrow and say, Mr. Rashid, just remove everything, I don't want to wait. And he'd be like, fine, yeah, I'll do it. So it is ultimately up to us.
He did say that's better for your mental health.
And then the September after that, Tiffany's back again, practically buzzing with excitement as she drops the big bomb on her viewers that her cancer has spread to her lungs.
The lung, unfortunately, is something that needs to be removed because that's shown up on the PET scan as cancer.
And then the year after, in September again, because of course it had to be September, Tiffany shows up once more, acting all eager to drop her latest big update.
Newly enlarged 14mm right supraclavicular node.
That's
the term.
That's
it's just
like
here, clavicle, isn't it? So it's just around here.
And then the year after, in September yet again, another spread gets announced. Because we all know how that month's reserved for her plot twists ready for the holiday season.
Basically, it's here in my neck, which we all know about, but it's also in the tissue in between the rib. One of the ribs, I think it's the 4th rib, so it's kind of spread there too.
But of course, it doesn't end there. Tiffany's got a whole schedule lined up for her little reality show. Every month with its own theme. October? Naturally, that's the one reserved for her hair. So we've got October 2024.
I am going to cut my hair short anyways, and she's said she's got a wig cap, so I can put that on and then we'll try on some wigs.
And then we jump back into the current season of October 2025.
I am also booked in for another wig because I want to try like a lace wig because apparently it looks a bit more natural.
So let's be real here for a second. You had to scramble to do damage control, didn't you? You just had to show your viewers your hair shedding on your brush because they kept demanding to know how you could still have a full head of hair after almost 5 years of treatment. And I'm sure you all remember how this cancer social media influencer would respond to those questions in her usual passive-aggressive way. Even though she took them on an emotional roller coaster about telling them back in 2024 that the chemo she was on was going to make her lose her hair.
This time the doctors did say the chemo that they use, you will lose your hair, whereas last time they were saying it's got to thin out, it just depends on the drug, but this one is kind of, they've said you are going to lose it, hence why I had that appointment with the wig specialist.
For me, I can't get my eyebrows done. Well, I can, but I've decided not to because if my hair starts falling out, haven't noticed anything, by the way, so I don't know. I know the chances of your hair falling out with this chemo is very, very high. They said to me that the chances of losing my hair is very, very high with this chemo and immunotherapy and the kind of medications.
And then watch. After months of telling her viewers stories designed to make them sympathize with her, video after video about how she's definitely going to lose her hair, how she now tries to hide her irritation when people comment, asking why she never actually lost it after all that clickbait.
I was expecting my eyebrows to fall out, my hair to fall out, my eyelashes. I was expecting rashes everywhere. I was expecting acne. I was expecting
diarrhea, I was expecting vomiting every single day, I was expecting a lot. If you know someone that's going through the same chemo or immunotherapy as me, please don't say to them, oh, don't worry about this because it didn't happen to Tiffany, and don't worry about that because Tiffany said it was like this. Everyone is very, very different, because I get comments sometimes that says, Tiffany, that's really odd because when I was going through this, I lost all my lashes, or when I was going through this, I lost all of my hair. I think that's one thing, you know, when you go through chemo and the doctors tell you all the side effects, it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to happen. I say this all the time because I always get messages saying, why have you not lost your hair? Why, you know, why is this blah blah blah. I always get messages like, Tiffany, why have you not lost all your hair? You've had so much chemo. And I want to kind of let you know, speak to your doctors.
So Tiff, I can't help but wonder if this round is just like the last time you dealt with thinning. Maybe that's why you keep feeding your loving Tiffany Thinks family the idea that the hair loss might possibly stop.
Who knows, you know, after a couple more treatments this might settle down. Who knows, we just don't know, do we?
I mean, only half the comments are telling you to just shave it off to spare yourself the emotional toll, but you won't. Instead, you keep posting those thumbnails with clumps of hair in your hands, staring at them for effect. Because, let's be honest, it pulls in way more views and money right before Christmas, just in time for your November adventures and spending sprees. But let me just quickly say this. Now, for someone going through a clinical trial and dealing with chemo side effects, losing their hair on camera, you're still pushing to add even more content to your channel. It's just work, 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 isn't it, Tiff? I mean, all of this is just an online cancer business, disguised as a caring cancer community. Isn't that right, Tiffany?
I'm also thinking I want to do a Tea with Tiffany Thinks video, so on Tuesday. So if you have any questions for me, leave them down below.